Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us today to discuss the launching of BRAC's first annual Social Innovation Fellowship. I'm Alex Robinson, Innovation Ecosystem and Partnerships Lead at BRAC Social Innovation Lab. Social Innovation Lab is the engine working to drive knowledge and experimentation within BRAC. We follow human-centered design principles in supporting programs to develop and pilot new services and products. And joining me today is Musharrat Bidita from BRAC International. Bidita, could you please tell us a bit about your role?
Yes, Alex. Hello, everyone. I'm Bidita. I'm a Communications and Public Relations Specialist, currently working as the Deputy Manager Communications at BRAC International Head Office. BRAC International works with 11 countries, and my job responsibilities involve developing communication materials, such as stories, ideas, and information for our internal and external stakeholders. So today in the webinar, we will be talking about the fellowship opening, desired candidate profile, the benefits, and the timeline for application. We will be ending by opening up Q&A.
So before we begin, we just want to request that all participants turn off their microphones or set computers to mute so that any background noise does not interfere with the presentation.
Oh yes, and please hold all your questions until the end of the presentation.
As many of you know, BRAC is the #1 NGO in the world as measured by innovation, impact, and governance. Our overarching goal is to create opportunities for people living in poverty to realize their potential. At BRAC, we work by the mantra that small is beautiful, but scale is necessary. Bidita, could you please tell us about BRAC International?
Okay. BRAC International operates in 11 countries, implementing a diverse range of programs. For example, in Liberia, we have the agriculture program, where we develop climate-smart agricultural technologies, offer quality seeds at fair prices, and encourage entrepreneurship. In Nepal, we have the ELA program, which is empowerment and livelihood for adolescents, and its key components include providing life skills training, financial literacy, microfinance, and vocational training. And then if you look at Uganda, South Sudan, or even Afghanistan, where there is lack of medical equipment, trained staff, and healthcare facilities, so our health program there is designed to ensure these issues are taken care of. So Alex, could you please walk us through the fellowship opportunity?
Sure. So our aim for this fellowship is to identify forward-thinking, status quo challenging development professionals, assisting them in becoming practical leaders with a real vision for change and also capability to drive impact at scale. BRAC is ready to lend 46 years of on-the-ground experience in supporting the fellows through an immersive year of research. You will be supported in each step of your journey by BRAC's expansive network of development pioneers, who will help you acquire the resources and expertise necessary to create impact at scale. Bidita, could you please tell us about how the year would look like for the fellows?
Yes, sure. So we're looking at this slide, which provides information about how a fellow will be spending their time during fellowship. After participating in our annual Frugal Innovation Forum in March, the fellow will experience a week of intensive training at the head office. The training could include expert-led seminars, methods for data collection, techniques for data analysis, or insight into monitoring and evaluation. The fellow will then be transferred to the assigned country office, where they will be involved in field visits, data analysis, and piloting. Alex, could you tell us more about the benefits?
Absolutely. So the selected fellow will receive one round-trip ticket to and from the country of residence. He or she will also receive a monthly stipend to cover food, housing, and miscellaneous expenses. The fellow will have dedicated office space and be eligible for in-kind support from BRAC, such as field transportation. Last but not least, the fellow will have access to BRAC and partner networks across the globe.
This fellowship opportunity is open to any individual between 18 to 35 years of age who is willing to work in a BRAC country of operation for 1 year. He or she should be interested to co-create, test, and implement solutions with BRAC. We are looking for applicants who are already making a difference in their communities through a strong record of academic achievement or professional or personal experience relevant to the development field. What are the timelines, Alex?
All right, so the round 1 deadline is quickly approaching. It will be 11:59 p.m. GMT +6 on November 30th. The round 2 deadline will be 11:59 p.m. GMT +6 on December 30th. And round 2 will require a more in-depth explanation from the candidate about key activities for your fellowship year and timeline for testing your solution. Finally, round 3 will be held in an interviewing format with a BRAC leadership panel. Interviews will be scheduled around January 15th and will be scheduled with the finalists themselves. So Bidita, could you help walk us through the application form?
Yes, definitely. I was also wondering if the viewers could leave comments, whatever questions you may have, which we will be answering at the end of the session. In the application form, we ask you to provide some basic background information about yourself. We will also ask you to describe the problem you are hoping to solve and how it aligns with one of BRAC's core areas of focus, such as education, microfinance, skills development, or health, or any other program you may be interested in.
You will also be required to make a case to us as to why you are the right person to solve the problem, and then describe in as much detail as possible your big idea and its intended future impact. Finally, we will ask you to tell us why you're hoping to work with BRAC specifically.
Okay, at the end of the application, you will be requested to provide 2 references. These references will only be contacted if you make it through to the final round. We also provided you with the opportunity to share links to any original materials you feel are relevant to us to consider with the application, such as publications or prototype designs.
All right, so this concludes the formal presentation, and now we will open up the floor for any questions you may have about the application process or the fellowship year. So please enter your questions into the chat box or the comment box available through YouTube. We will address as many as we can in the time we have remaining.
Yeah. I think we were pretty clear. I wonder if we're going to get a lot of questions.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
Let's see.
So I guess we're going to be here for another 10 minutes and see if we get any questions.
Yeah, so please feel free to answer questions. Type them right into the comment box and on the YouTube channel, and we will read them as they come.
Yeah.
And answer to the best of our ability.
Or you can always write to us. We have provided all the information where they can reach us, right?
Yes, yes. There's an email provided through the application link, so you can feel free to send us questions at any time that's convenient to you up until the November 30th deadline.
Oh, we already have some new questions.
Fantastic. So our first question is, how many fellows can participate in the fellowship? In other words, is there a fellowship cohort? So for this first year of the Social Innovation Fellowship, we will only be able to accommodate 1 fellow. And we hope that as we kind of grow, we will expand that cohort, and in years to come, offer this opportunity to additional fellows. But for 2019, it will just be one fellow.
Mm-hmm.
So our next question is, do the fellows get linked up with an organization which dovetails to their interest area, or do we apply to execute our own project in a country of BRAC operations? So you will be working with BRAC. That is the organization with which you will be matched. We're very excited to host our fellow for 2019. So we will place you in one of BRAC country operation offices based on your skill set, your professional and academic experience, and the solution you've identified. So based on the problem and the solution that you write about in your application, we will identify a BRAC country office that matches your
They can have a full list of the countries on our website.
Yes, yes. There's a full list of our countries, and also you can dig into our website to find more about the programmatic areas in which we operate. Yep. What if the fellow couldn't start till late 2019? So, that's something we can discuss on a case-by-case basis with the fellow that is selected. Our aim is to have our fellow join us in March at our annual Frugal Innovation Forum, which is held here in Dhaka. So we will announce the fellow at that time, and the theme this year is youth, so we're very excited to announce this fellowship. And then the fellow will join us, the subsequent week for boot camp, where we'll have a series of seminars and networking sessions and training to prepare. But the timeline may potentially be flexible for start, depending on the fellow's availability.
We're getting a lot of questions.
Wow.
What is the expected start date? Can I start in January? Well, candidates are shortlisted in January.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's not going to start until March.
Yes, March would be the earliest at this point, the earliest timeline for us. And when early March 3rd through 4th is when we will have our Frugal Innovation Forum, so that following that forum is when the fellow could begin.
Karina Shah and Lee Han, I think have similar questions. We have another question from Lee.
So I think one of the questions is essentially around, what if the problem you initially envisioned you would be working on changes as you're working through the application itself? And just so everyone knows, you can revise your application up until the midnight deadline on November 30th. So if you find that your problem is shifting as you're working through a human-centered design lens, you find that you'd like to focus on something else, you can send us a revised application and we'd be happy to accept it. Just make sure you also email us so that we're aware and have your most up-to-date application.
Okay, we have another question from Elaine Johnson. She says, what if we have multiple ideas according to different countries where BRAC operates? Can we mention more than one project idea in the application? I guess you just have to mention one. Yeah,
I think one is best. I think we really want our applicants to take a lot of time.
Exactly. You guys can go through our programs and countries where we work in and what are we doing and what are we looking for. And accordingly, you can prep your application. If you have a lot of ideas, I suggest that you think it through, talk to your friends, talk to your colleagues, and then go ahead with the best one.
Yeah, I think one will make you one of the strongest applicants. We're hoping to find applicants that are really passionate about a social issue and can express that in application form. So if you hone in on one issue that you're most excited about, that your professional and personal experience can speak most strongly to, and then that shines through on your application, you'll have the best chance of making it through to the final round. So one of the questions we see is there's some concern about if their ideas or perspectives may not apply to context on the ground. I think if you you want to present a problem and a solution to us that you are, very enthusiastic about and you feel committed to.
We will definitely have a look at it.
We will have a look at it, we will consider it, and we will make a determination as to whether we think it can fit within the context of operations on the ground.
You are always welcome to share your ideas with us.
Yes, and something to know is that BRAC works across so many programmatic areas and in so many different geographic contexts that more than likely there will be a context in which your solution fits. All right, Katrina has a question.
Katrina?
Katrina.
Yeah, I think we already took it. Katrina. Oh, okay. No, you will actually not be placed to your country of choice. We will be choosing for you.
Yes, so we encourage you to write if you have a particular country and which you feel like your problem is the most appropriately suited towards. We encourage you to write about your problem and solution within the context of that country, and we will definitely take an extra look at that, but we will make the final determination as to, candidates fit.
Depending on the problem, the solution, security, and everything.
Yes.
We have another question from Amin. This is a good development. Thanks for this. What's next after the one-year fellowship?
Yeah, so what's next? We're hoping that through this one-year journey with BRAC, you will be prepared to take the next steps as a leader in the development space, in the international development space. You will now have access to BRAC's extensive network of development pioneers, and you will also have access to our partner networks, which kind of extends across the globe. And we hope we will provide you with a strong set of skills, both qualitative and quantitative, to move forward. And there's also always potential room for the, depending on the pilot that you develop in your year, we could take that forward and see if we can scale it up.
Okay, we have another question from Mimi. Mimi asks what if the references we asked for, they couldn't speak English? Well, if the references are going to be sent in Bangla, then it's okay for us. We could translate it. But if it's any other language, then I'm afraid you have to translate it to English and send it to us. Otherwise, we won't be able to.
The preference would be for English or Bangla. But if you can, that's always a question. You can send us an email directly. If there's special circumstances, we can definitely see if there's something we can do. But the references will only be checked in final round. So we ask that you provide names of references now, but we will only be reaching out to those references in the last round.
We won't be contacting them until the final round. Yes, Karina, references are mandatory. It's part of the application process.
Yes, so if you don't have a background in, social enterprise or development directly, that's okay.
That's okay.
Yeah. We just want someone that can speak to your, expertise in a professional setting or in an academic setting, or maybe someone that knows you and has seen you grow and develop. So anyone that can speak to your skill set and your, something unique that you would contribute to this year is perfectly fine. It does not have to be directly related to development.
We're going to take in some more questions and then...
Yeah, I think we have time for a few more questions. So if anyone has anything
and we obviously have our FAQ. They can always go check that out.
Yes, our FAQ is available on the website, and we also are happy to accept any questions via email.
You can always write to us. We're always here to help you.
Yes, we are here to help. So we'll wait a few more minutes and see if anyone has any other questions we can answer.
You're welcome, Elaine. She says thank you. Are we taking questions for another 5 minutes?
Yeah, I think another 5 minutes. We'll be here to answer any potential questions you have. So send them our way.
5 more minutes. Mm. Sanjoy says hello, and he shares that he studied at BRAC University.
Yes, anyone, if you studied at BRAC University, you're still eligible to apply for this fellowship, and we encourage you to apply. But any current BRAC employee, unfortunately, is not eligible to apply for the fellowship at this time.
Yes, this is a paid fellowship.
Yes, it's paid in the sense that we will be providing a monthly stipend. So we will be providing approximately 600 USD per month that the fellow will have to budget to cover housing and food. There will also be, as I mentioned, the round trip ticket to and from destination country, and in-kind support from BRAC in the form of transportation to and from field sites, accommodation while in the field, any, data analysis support that you need, conference space, etc.
Abhishek asks, what is the whole selection process, which we already talked about? I think he was not here. And the entire timeline for the process and the final selection of the candidate.
Yes.
Do you want to walk him through in briefly?
Yes. Yeah. Yes, I can briefly walk through the timeline. So round one deadline is fast approaching. November 30th is the deadline for that, midnight. And the application is available online. And round two is December 30th, midnight, 11:59 p.m. GMT +6, December 30th. So that round will be another written application. It will require a more in-depth explanation from candidates about key activities for the fellowship year and timeline that they foresee for fulfilling all of their goals. Round three will be an interview with a leadership panel at BRAC, one-on-one with the fellowship and the fellowship candidate and the panel. So those interviews will be scheduled separately, but will be around January 15th. So that's the full timeline, and then the fellow will be announced probably by the end of January. We hope to have the fellow join us in Dhaka March 3rd.
Yes, only one person.
Yes, only one fellow for 2019. This is the first year that BRAC is launching this fellowship, and we want to make sure that we are providing as much support as we can to our fellow throughout this year-long journey. So we want to, kind of fine-tune the process, provide those workshopping, sets of workshops, provide mentorship, guidance, and really make sure that they are getting this full learning journey out of it. So we hope to scale up to more fellows once we've kind of laid the groundwork for this first year. So, past 2019, we hope that we'll have a full cohort in coming years.
Oh, you're welcome, Rupert. We're happy to help. Yes, it is. So we have another question. Aminul Islam is asking if this is a full-time fellowship. Yes, it is a full-time fellowship.
Yes, yeah, we are asking the fellow to commit full-time for 12 months from their start date to be placed in a BRAC office.
A lot of people might have confusion regarding the placement. Would you like to tell them, briefly again?
Yes.
About the placement.
Yes, I can tell about placement. So placement will be in any one of BRAC's 11 country offices of operation. And this placement...
Have you mentioned the countries where we operate in?
We have not mentioned the countries. We will mention the countries.
So we operate in Bangladesh.
Yes.
And Afghanistan, Philippines, Liberia, Myanmar, Nepal, Uganda, Sierra Leone, Pakistan, Tanzania, and South Sudan.
Yes.
Yeah, so they might be placed in any of the countries.
Could be placed in any of the countries. We will place according to problem, identified solution, fit with country office, and also we will take into account all security, any and all security concerns. So you rest assured that we will place you in the best environment, like where you can maximize your potential for the year.
Of course. Okay, Abhishek is thanking us for clearing all his doubts regarding the program. And oh, thank you so much.
So I think we'll take questions for one more minute. If any last questions come through, we'd be happy to answer, and then you can email us after the webinar as well.
Would they be able to watch this video again?
Yes, so this video will remain online. You can access it on YouTube. We will also upload the video to our Facebook page, so it'll be available for any candidate to watch at their leisure. And if you have any friends or colleagues that were not able to attend, please share the link.
Share with them. So I guess we're done.
Yeah, I think no more questions have come through, so hopefully we've been helpful to you and we've answered any concerns you had, any questions you had, and you'll be fully prepared to submit your application. We're very excited to begin reviewing them.
Of course.
November 30th. And we're extremely excited to welcome our first fellow to the BRAC family in March. So
looking forward to your application.
Yes, best of luck.
Best of luck.